whole like Oscar Delahoya thing.
I'm glad to go away from him.
Yeah.
Because he's fucking crazy.
We're really good friends with Dana White.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like Oscar Delahoya too, I said.
Oscar Delahoya has announced he's coming out of retirement to box again.
Cocaine isn't cheap.
I think nobody.
Because he's a vacuum, right?
Every time he's in problems, he don't have any fighters left. Ryan Garcia, because he signed with him. Now Ryan Garcia, I think he's in a problem with him. That's why nobody wants to be with him, because he's not loyal.
Seen some
Those are the recent words of Canelo Alvarez in regards to Oscar Delahoya. He says he's effing crazy, and he says he's not loyal. And he has many, many problems. And let me counterpunch. Oscar has his own demons. I'm pretty sure everybody else does. But I did do a video on this a while back concerning the whole breakdown of Canelo Alvarez and his choices to go over to PBC with Al Heyman like everyone else did, like Danny Garcia, like Errol Spence, like Deontay Wilder, like many, many fighters did. Because Richard Schaefer was the guy that was really controlling and orchestrating the fighters. And, you know, and he was doing the job that Oscar was doing based on, you know, the infidelities and the distractions that Oscar De La Hoya had. De La Hoya fell out with Canelo Alvarez simply because he didn't reveal to him everything that he's supposed to. And I think what happened with Oscar and Canelo, Oscar tried to play big brother too much. I think what he tried to do, we all know that Oscar De La Hoya had a big part into making Canelo Alvarez. There's no doubt about that. He made him a superstar. He signed him. He got him multi-million-dollar deals. He signed, when he was with Oscar De La Hoya, he signed a $365 million deal for like 4 or 5 years or something like that. The highest deal ever made in boxing at one time. Okay, not one night, but in one contract. Because, you know, Floyd, Money Mayweather will have something to say about, you know, that if you said anything different. However, I think because he tried to take and play Big Brother so much that it blinded his judgment, you know, over what's legal and right for Canelo Alvarez. Because, see, you can't withhold information thinking it's the best for that fighter. You see, the whole thing about with the Zone and Oscar De La Hoya versus Canelo Alvarez, Canelo Alvarez wanted to dictate his own terms, whereas the Zone already got with Oscar De La Hoya, and Oscar kind of backdoored him on what fights he should fight, and he did not care to fight Golovkin, but that was in the stipulations. But anyway, Canelo ended up leaving, and he ended up going with Eddie Hearn, the rival promoter. That's why Oscar really can't stand Eddie Hearn for right now, or he didn't, because recently he came out and said that they all need to get together and let these best fights happen. Now, something funny Canelo also said about that was the fact that Oscar De La Hoya really doesn't have any fighters no more. You know, David Lemieux, he's retired, if anything. I think he was fighting on PBC. You got Virgil Ortiz. I don't know how far he's really going to go. Ryan Garcia, there's countless problems and back and forths with those two guys. You know, I mean, he doesn't have a big stable, no. Al Heyman's running the show. Then probably second, Eddie Hearn, then Bob Arum, then Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya is the lowest now, the totem pole, when it comes to the major fighters in boxing. That's why Oscars we need to get all the fights happening. We need to get together because boxing's going to die. No, Oscar. Your stable is almost dead. Okay? And I think with Oscar, you know, his problems that he's had have just distracted him from his overall goals as being a promoter, and he was doing very, very well, you know. But I think of like promoters in waves, you know. Like, you know, Eddie Hearn was the man about 3 or 4 years ago when he had Anthony Joshua, which he still has. Then he had Canelo Alvarez, the two biggest moneymakers in the business. So you really couldn't tell Eddie shit at that time. Now it's different. Things have flip-flopped. Because everybody, it looks like everybody that's everybody gets a piece. Okay, so If anything, I think that's how boxing really goes and flows. But this tells me without a shadow of a doubt that Canelo Alvarez will never work with Oscar De La Hoya again. Making comments like that and interviews like that, it just shows me the last check that he says that's endorsed from Canelo Alvarez has been the last one that he fought with Oscar De La Hoya. And it's just funny how people start opening up when they're not around you or up under your umbrella anymore about your crazy antics. And we all know what that is. I mean, that Golden Boy series is great and it shows a lot. We learned a lot about Oscar De La Hoya, which, a lot of people, I think, it's kind of cringe. But at the end of the day, that's his life and it happens. And, nobody's perfect and no judgment here. But then as far as his relationship with Canelo Alvarez, you can tell there's going to be a lingering bitterness on both sides between Canelo and Oscar. Oscar threatening to knock his ass out and Canelo saying he's fucking crazy. He's many problems, man. Cocaína demasiado muchísimo en su nariz. Arriba todo el tiempo. Miras las blancas cosas en su nariz. Como parece como nieve. But no, seriously. That just shows you the rivalry and the bitterness that lingers without and between these two men. You guys tell me what you think of Canelo Alvarez stating that Oscar has many problems, no fighters, and he is not loyal. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!